Like pick it up and stuff like that, but yeah, it's a low energy day, that's for sure. And it looks like we're live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
So at Jack's Comicrypt, that's who we are. I'm Brendan. That's Al. We got very lucky, and Jason just appeared out of the blue.
Lucky.
Yeah, yeah. So
Low standards.
we have the Peanuts gallery.
No standards.
Yeah, hanging out with us again.
Hello, Jason.
Yeah.
Hello.
There you go. There you go. I don't know if you can hear him, but he said hello.
Dude, I hope you're not driving.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. We're here to sell some comic books. Hopefully, we can maybe have some fun conversations, but who knows? I'm pretty sure at some point I might pull one of these. Excuse me a second. And you guys can just claim stuff while I take a nap. Obviously, I'm going to talk a little bit some business real quick, but please feel free to claim some books. We got some Deadpool stuff. We got some random odds and ends. We got some Stray Dog #1s, some Noctera #1s. And for anyone who wasn't watching our local show, we had a full run, but some of it is gone now. But this is the front end of the Atom Silver Age series, and then we have the back end of the Atom Silver Age series, and also when it changes to gets retitled as Atom and the Hawkman. All right, so we will get to that. Also, we're going to have some rotating. We have a couple. We don't always do this, but whenever we do, we try to show it off and stuff like that, which is we have a few slabbed CGC books tonight. We'll kind of rotate through them. Right now, we have Marvel Premiere #1 and Incredible Hulk 102. We'll get that to more details about that in a little bit.
What's up, Zayden?
Zayden, how you doing, buddy? Go Birds. So yeah, I know. It's just Zayden is in the chat. And hey, for anyone, again, if you weren't watching the local show, I want to let everyone know that next week, October 10th, our boy Zayden, who is usually in the chat, is going to be in the house again, his second appearance on the show. But more importantly, he's going to be running from a bus here to be here at the start of the show because he will be coming back from the entire New York Comic-Con weekend. So hopefully he'll maybe have some fun stories, or if anything else, I would love to hear his experiences at the con. I'm pretty sure it's the first con that you're going to in a couple years. Like a lot of people, the New York Comic Con might be the first comic convention for a lot of people since, we went through some kind of historical event recently. Some people say it's over. Is it? So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. And as always, I'm very appreciative whenever Zayden's here to hang out because he obviously knows a lot more than Al and I do. So he can really level up our game here.
I might sit over there
next week. Yes. Okay, so obviously, please take a look at the books and stuff like that. If you do claim anything or you have any questions or anything of that nature, Al will monitor that and pay attention to that because I'm now going to talk a little bit of business, just in case there's anybody new watching us tonight. And Jerry will probably throw some stuff down there. So again, this is a claim show. You claim the books that you want to purchase, and we either keep them here at our Philly shop, or we send them over to our Jersey shop, or we ship them. So with that said, if you are outside of the Philadelphia or the Oakland, New Jersey area, so you have no access to our actual brick and mortar shops, we're going to need to get your contact and shipping information so we can get those books shipped out to you. And the best way to contact us is our email, which is fjccshow gmail.com. Al runs that. He'll handle all that. I guess shipping is like it's $7 for like the first purchase.
Shipping starts at $7 for the first claim, and then we'll consolidate past that.
Yeah. We'll try to keep shipping costs as low as possible, but it pretty much starts at $7, and then as you add more items,
we're not going to charge you $7 for everything.
Yeah. No. It starts with
we'll do our best.
Yeah.
We'll work with it.
But again, I guess we'll we invoice and then we hope.
So we'll invoice through the email, invoice and contact info, and I'll invoice you during the week. And we ask that you pay within usually a week's time of invoice. Otherwise, we're just going to pull your stuff. It's going to go back.
Yeah.
If there's extenuating circumstances, obviously let us know as long as you're in touch with us.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we're here to sell all these books.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't know, is this still a thing? Like if your order is over a couple $100 or so, like, and you need to, we can kind of work out a payment plan, or is that not something?
I mean, if depending on the situation, like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, because there's always extenuating circumstances and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, as long as it's all met with in good faith, and we just meet us halfway.
There you go.
Nobody's trying. I mean, if it takes a couple weeks, we'll do what we can.
Cool. All right. Also, even though the phone that runs our Instagram page, it's dying, if not absolutely dead at the moment, which is why we didn't have a lot of opportunity to really promote a lot of the books that we had this week. But we still greatly appreciate everyone who's been following us, checking us out. Also, if you don't know about it, our Instagram handle is right down there. It's at the FJC Paradox. We have a bunch of stuff and everything. And in fact, I don't know if I mentioned this already, because I've talked about it before, because I'm not really a social media guy. So if I get like 5 likes on a thing, I'm like, yay! Even though like some people are like, oh no, man, you need at least 25,000. I'm like, all right, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. But I would start getting excited when like we broke like 100 likes the first time. I was like, oh, that was cool. And then 2 of our posts got over 200. I was like, whoa, that really blows my mind. Well, now we are quickly reaching 500 likes on the Simon Bisley Platinum Edition Alien cover image.
No kidding.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. It really blew up. Yeah, in fact, a bunch of people started arguing and picking fights with each other in the comments. And it was so funny. It threw me off at first, because when I first saw it, I was like, is some guy calling me out to do a duel? I'm like, what is going on? I don't even know what the context is. And I was about to write him back, being like, all right, dude, I'll meet you at midnight, take 8 paces and turn and then I suddenly realized, even though it's in our the comment is in our post and it's sent to us, it wasn't actually sent. It was sent to somebody in the comments. Yeah, responding to somebody in the comments because they were like, "You're fake news." And he's like,
I don't know, but I don't think you should be responding to duel.
No,
the challenges under your jobs.
Yeah.
It's not good for the shop.
Valid. Yeah.
Or in general.
No, you make a great point, but hey, obviously I quickly deleted it and went, oh, what am I doing? Like,
there's a lot of people that be like, yeah, duel. Let's put that back.
Yeah. Hey, if it'll bring in some more traffic and viewers on our show here, maybe a duel. I don't know. But if I'm the one who gets killed, don't show it to my mother. Tell her I did it trying to save somebody from getting hit by a bus or something.
I'm not responsible for anything that goes on.
Okay. So we've done the email, fjccshow@gmail.com. That's how you contact us. We did the Instagram at the FJC Paradox. I guess that's we're kind of done the business.
Yeah. If you see something you like, please issue an number and title as specific as you can be. For whatever books, just so that we're not scrambling. There's a delay on this end every once in a while.
Yeah. Also, we still can't write in the chat.
Yeah, I can't interact at all, so I'll just shout over him while he's talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Or give me a little thumbs up. We'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll definitely acknowledge and everything like that. But again, to help us out and to also because sometimes if people try to claim the same book at the same time, the experience is pretty good at having like a timestamp. So the more specific that you can be, it won't lead to any confusion. Everyone can fairly get the books that they're looking for.
I didn't even get a chance to wish you a happy anniversary.
Uh-oh.
Because you've now been doing this for more than a year.
Oh yeah. Like
It's
yeah,
official.
The first Sunday of October of 2020 was technically the first issue. Because those September shows, that was the zero issue. That was the Comico primer. You know? Oh yeah. Yeah, had to have a lot of people all get mad at each other and yeah. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of people being like, you know what to do, right? No.
Mr. Chamberlain, I wished him a happy anniversary. That's what I got him. That's it. That's what you get.
Yeah. Good times.
Hardy handshake.
Yeah, a hearty handshake. That is right.
There's a pandemic. I don't shake hands anymore.
Have you had a bunch of those awkward moments? I had one again the other day when James Rayo, he came in to pick up some of his books, and he was leaving, and he goes for the handshake, while at the same time, like I go for the fist bump, and then like he goes for the fist, and I go, and I'm like doing, and it's like, and I'm like, I don't.
And at some point, you just go like this.
Yeah, and then hug and kiss. Like, yeah, just it's awkward.
That's the worst.
Yeah. It's a strange time. All right, so we're gonna get into the books now. I have no questions or anything, chat. So okay,
We're not gonna hug. We're not.
All right, so we're just gonna slide into the books that we have on display here. Okay. So first up, let's first point out a couple of the books up here. If you immediately recognize the cover and you're wondering why it doesn't have a big sticker with a big price tag on it, you can probably guess they're not in the best condition. But I still want to just offer this kind of stuff. We were lucky enough to get a bunch of Deadpool books in that I haven't seen in a long time. Specifically, some of the stuff pertaining to the early miniseries and the beginning of Deadpool's first ongoing series, where, in my opinion, Deadpool really kind of, under Joe Kelly, really became the character that most people think of when they think of Deadpool now, specifically the version of Deadpool that exists in the two movies. Up until then, and I will not belabor this point, you've heard my rants on the origins of Deadpool and a certain artist who is connected to that character. And yes.
Before you start on Deadpool,
yes.
Can you real quick just hit the Marvel premiere?
Of course, yes. Okay. Thank you, chat. Again, so the first slab book that we have tonight on this show is Marvel Premiere #1. This is a 6.5 grade. It is the first appearance of him as Adam Warlock. Okay, so of course, him was first introduced in Fantastic Four. He then was reintroduced in Thor. But this is when he finally got not his first solo title. I mean, that would come like later with Jim Starlin and stuff like that. But specifically the first series where he is the main character. He's not a supporting character. He's not an antagonist. Nothing like that. Okay, so that's why they consider this the first appearance of him as Adam Warlock. All right. Also is the first appearance of the Soul Gem. That would be something that he would use. And later, the Soul Gems, plural, would become the Infinity Gems, Infinity Gauntlet, so on, so forth. All right. This is also, you have a appearance by the Hulk, Thor, and the Fantastic Four, all as a retelling of him / Adam Warlock's origin. So this is the big book. And this is one that's really been going up in value a lot recently. In fact, almost anything pertaining to him / Adam Warlock, specifically all of his early appearances, have all been rising in value because, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but people are all becoming convinced once again that he, at some point, is going to be part of the MCU. So people are looking to buy low while they can. And these were books that were not inexpensive anyway, just because they are part of, the Silver Age and early Bronze Age of Marvel. And again, especially once Jim Starlin began to write and illustrate this character, he became a very important character to the Marvel canon and history and all that kind of stuff. And this is a particular key in regards to the Adam Warlock mythos. Now, again, this is a 6.5, and it is valued at $275. All right.
Is there any kind of speculation on who's going to play?
No, I think they're way too early. And in fact, I don't know if this is true or not, but I always theorized the reason why Warlock never really appeared yet, despite his connection to Thanos and the Infinity stuff, because I think Warlock was connected to the Fantastic Four movie rights in the same way that Namor was, Doctor Doom, Galactus, Silver Surfer. Because a lot of people, in case you don't know, inside baseball, when it comes to when you sell a certain IP, their sort of their film rights or what have you, it's not just the Fantastic Four, but it was also the Skrulls, which is why in the first Avengers movie they had to create an entire alien race, because I'm not even sure they could use the Kree for all we know at the time. So now that Disney and Marvel are beginning to pull together like the Fantastic Four, X-Men, things of that nature, the peripheral characters that were also tied up in those film rights are also becoming available to Marvel and Disney.
Sony's giving up a lot of their rights right now, and that's why the Venom movies are kind of
well. Let's be honest. Okay, I'm not going to give the spoiler away, but I want people to know.
If you saw the trailer, you kind of...
At the end of Venom 2, there is a scene, let's say, that people are going to be, especially the people that want everything to be connected, they're going to be really excited. That's all. I mean, James Rayo, he told me, he was like, "Do you mind if I spoil?" I was like, "Please, dude, go right ahead." Have you seen Venom 2 yet?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Real quick, Zane, we got a copy. If you need it, add it to your subscription. Just let us know.
Okay. Cool. Oh, I hope issue 2 just sold out.
Did it just sell out?
Like a day or two ago. Yeah. I mean, we could probably get more copies in, hopefully. Zane and I might have a copy.
There you go.
I get accused of hoarding. Anyway, so like I said, Warlock, he's becoming a big deal again. And right next to that, just for the sake, just like finish off these 2 CGC books here. Here we have Incredible Hulk 102. This is where the series continued from Tales to Astonish. I went on a big rant, not a rant, but I talked about the whole thing about, in the late 60s, Marvel being only able to publish a certain amount of titles, which is why, except for like Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man, every other title they had was a split book. Tales to Astonish obviously had the Hulk and Namor. Way before that, there was Hulk and Giant Man, Ant-Man, and Wasp. So when Tales to Astonish ended, Marvel just continued the numbering. So you have Incredible Hulk 102, which is sort of like the second issue #1, because technically the Hulk did get. Now, I'm trying to remember this. Was it 3 issues, 4 issues? Chat, let us know. Do you remember when the Hulk was gray and he was first introduced? It was Hulk #1, and then you had #2 and #3. I can't remember how many issues they made it before they had to stop, and then they moved him over to Tales to Astonish. Anyway, this is Incredible Hulk 102. You get a little appearance from the Warriors 3, the Enchantress, Odin, and you get the origin of the Hulk retold. And this book here is $250.
6 issues.
6. Okay, thank you.
So safe, Mr. Baruch.
All right. So again, Marvel Premiere #1, graded at slabbed at a 6.5, $275, and Incredible Hulk slabbed at a 4.5, $250. Okay. Now we're going to move on and again, I want to, because I sometimes am standing in front of it, so I want to constantly remind people, except for a few issues that sold on the local show, we still have ourselves a really nice Silver Age Atom series here. And we've already talked a lot about some of the top ones up here, some of the the front end. Here we have our nice back end, where now you start getting the Adam and Hawkman series with Joe Kubert covers.
I'm really getting like a baseball card knife guy vibe off the setup today.
Oh, yeah. Baseball card knife
Like
guy.
the 2 a.m. guy.
Yeah. Can you imagine like trying to do that voice? I mean, I wouldn't last 5 minutes before I'm like, oh, there, it's gone.
It looks like
This thing cut.
Hey, everybody.
it looks like it's 2 a.m. on the fit like that. I don't know. Just it looks like that time. I don't know, something.
Yeah. God, man, in college, we
I
would
used to
just
watch it all the
be
time.
drunk and stoned and just like 3 o'clock in the morning watch this idiot just yell and scream.
I always wanted to buy stuff, never did.
Why would you?
I
The
wanted
prices
to.
were insane.
I was a kid, I had no
You
idea.
had 300 knives.
I didn't go to
$20.
Edison to buy this stuff. I didn't buy it.
My favorite is when he would take the knives and he would take a Ken Griffey, a junior rookie
Oh.
card, and he would cut it in half. No, that never happened. But man, he always seemed to have a Ken Griffey junior rookie card.
Near mint king.
Near mint-
He sounded like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he kind of had that vibe too. I wonder if he's still alive. Social media, well, he would have been great for social media.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's still on.
Yeah.
Should we get him on the show?
Maybe. Yeah, we should get him on the show. Yeah, there we go. What's his
Experience, look
name?
that up.
Yeah, experience, due diligence. Okay, before we completely go off the rails, let's dip our toe real quickly into some of these Deadpool books. First up is this is just it's referred to as the X-Force magazine. Okay, so at the time this would have been the mid '90s, or maybe like 93 or so. It was right around when X-Force 1 came out. And at the time, New Mutants 98, 99, and 100 were kind of hard to find. And so Marvel wanted to allow people to kind of have a lead-in to this new X-Force book. So technically speaking, this X-Force magazine, which reprints New Mutants 98, 99, 100, is the very first time that New Mutants 98, the first appearance of Deadpool, was ever reprinted. Okay? So there we go. X-Force magazine. Now, this is a very fine plus copy at $6. And now we get, we do have Deadpool's second appearance, which I think is X-Force 10 or 11. I don't have it with me here, but if anyone is interested in that, we do have it here in the shop somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's like either, it's a pretty high grade, but I think it's like in that $10 to $15 range, somewhere in there. But an issue that I don't think it's the third appearance, maybe the third or fourth appearance of Deadpool, but technically speaking, it is the iconic Deadpool versus Cable battle. Also, this issue is the beginning of a young Greg Capullo, who was coming off of his Quasar run that sort of broke him into the industry. And then he would pretty much become the main X-Force artist, starting with this issue, for a good period of time. Before, I don't think he did much more for Marvel before McFarlane poached him to help McFarlane draw Spawn. This is, but Capullo was quite associated at the time with X-Force. So this is a very fine plus copy at $12. Classic, iconic Deadpool versus Cable. All right. And speaking of iconic battles, now, regrettably, this copy is a VG minus. It's got a lot of stress in the spine, things of that nature. But if anything else, just to kind of show it off, this book actually has a lot of value. In fact, I'm pretty sure we had a high-grade copy that I think we sold for like somewhere between $60 or $80. It was a book that I was shocked how much value it had, because specifically speaking, this issue is the very first time that Wolverine and Deadpool met, fought, and what were we saying? Pinned each other. You know, a lot of pinning and pegging in this issue. But regrettably, this book has been well read and loved, which is why I couldn't give it a higher grade than a VG minus. So if anyone's just looking for a reader copy or you're looking to fill in a Wolverine run and you don't want to spend $80 to $100 on a high grade copy, here we have Wolverine 88, the very first fight between Wolverine and Deadpool for $7. And then, okay, so soon after his little supporting character runs in X-Force, New Mutants, and popping up here and like Wolverine, stuff like that. At the same time, Deadpool was obviously a runaway hit as a character, even though technically he's still not what we think of Deadpool quite yet. But Marvel decided it was time to give Deadpool his own miniseries, because obviously they were like, I don't know, he's a villain. Do villains sell? How long did that Joker book run in the 70s? So they gave a young writer by the name of Mark Waid his very first Marvel work, and that was the very first Deadpool miniseries, written by Mark Waid, illustrated by Ian Churchill. Okay, now we had all 4 issues of that miniseries. Issue 1 has a bit of value to it. Issue 2 has a little bit of value to it too, except they were, let's call them garbage condition, to the point where I don't feel comfortable selling them. I literally just gave them away because they were just in that bad a condition. But we do have issue number 3 and 4. Now, these are in very fine condition, primarily, again, because of little bits of stress along the spine. That's really where most of the hit to the grade occurs for both of these books. So here we have issue number 3 of the very first Deadpool limited series, graded at a very fine, and this is a $5 book. And then issue number 4, same thing, fine copy at $5. So if you're looking to fill some holes in the collection or something along those lines, these are some pretty affordable early Deadpool appearances. Okay, so after the success of that first miniseries, Marvel decided to do a second miniseries. And this time, they gave the reins over to a young little whippersnapper, somewhere around the age of like maybe 16 or 17 at the time, a little guy called Joe Madureira, who at that time had done a couple spots in like Marvel Comics Presents. I think there might have been like a cover here or there, what have you. Yeah. Oh, it's break time?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so before I get really into it, we'll continue with the Deadpool. Let's take a break, and we'll see you on the other side. Yep.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
The one that was signed?
Yeah.
Do I want it?
I want to keep the bag just because I want to bring it back here and just be like, here.
Oh, did he tell? Did I tell you? So he's at. Hey everybody, real quick. So yeah, but the game. Yeah, and it was. It had the Fat Jack sticker from 1990, $1.75.
$1.75.
Signed by Neil Gaiman. Yeah. We'll have to. Have you? Did you pick it up? Did you buy it?
I'm waiting for a price.
Oh, they haven't given you a price yet. I'm curious. How did it look? Great, like condition wise.
It
Was it good?
I was like,
Sandman #2. Did everyone like the teaser? I thought it looked encouraging. Henry hated it, but no surprise there.
What is that?
Netflix. They're doing a Sandman series,
Really?
and I got to tell you, I mean, the dude looks good as Morpheus. Women are into him, man. like goths are back, you know. But yeah, the teaser. Did you read Sandman? Okay. So the teaser, for anyone who didn't see it, Netflix put out like a little 30-second, 1-minute teaser, and it's primarily sort of the magical ritual where they're trying to capture death, and then boom, something happens, and you get that great over the kind of like bird's eye view, like ceiling shot of him like laying in the circle with the cloak and the helmet and stuff. And then the next thing you see is you get a shot of him just sitting naked in his bubble, just staring daggers at people. And man, the ladies are loving it. You know, people are very thirsty on Twitter for Morpheus.
That's great because we can't get Volume 1 in any way. Not even that hardcover that just came out.
No, it's
all
absurd.
out of.
Jeez, man, hey, there's something strange going on in the whole distribution world. Because again, like this is the first week of Marvel leaving Diamond and doing. And who was the other company? Was it IDW that also left and joined Penguin? And then I don't know what DC's doing. I mean, you better not want Tom King's Miracle Man or Mr. Miracle trade paperback, because I ordered that for people, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times over the past 4 months and still not gotten a copy. So, yeah.
You can't get a copy of Sandman 1.
Sandman 1?
Like that's just, it's a license to print money.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially with a show now. Like everybody wants that and we can't.
it's kind of like where during WandaVision, we couldn't get a Wanda or Vision book in if our life depended on it. The show ended and suddenly we got them all in and somehow people weren't as interested. I wonder how that works. Marvel, DC, every comic book company that has some kind of a licensed property coming out that might be successful. You would think that you would want retail shops to have your product, because people are going to come in and they are absolutely looking for it and they are absolutely asking for it. And we look like jackasses and we're like, out of print?
I have an issue for $7. One issue out of 4.
Yes. All right. So welcome back, everybody, to whatever this is. So let's talk about a few more comic books. Again, I want to point out all of these awesome Atoms. So if anyone up in Atom, people, if anyone has any questions, in fact, where's the issue where he literally says it? Up in Atom. Like right there. If you don't get the joke, man, it's like one of the greatest Simpsons episodes of all time. The little Dennis the Menace slingshotting the Atom.
You know, before you start selling.
Sure.
Do you know what 10-speed and brown shoe is?
10-speed and brown shoe?
Yeah.
They sound like either weird sex acts or it sounds racist. What?
We'll just move on.
No, really, what is it?
I don't know what it is. The Chamberlain.
So they brought it. Fred, what's brown shoe and 10
He
speed?
said we're in the remake of 10-speed. I don't know what that means. Must be some movie.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I know they killed cornbread. How about that?
they killed cornbread.
You ever saw that?
No.
Cornbread Earl and me?
No.
You ever saw that?
No, I saw Mac and Me. No. What is it? Is it like an exploitation film?
No,
Or?
I think it's Larry Fishburne.
No.
He's like
Apparently
10 years
Jeff
old.
Goldblum.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum is in what?
10-speed and brown shit.
10 speed and brown shoe. I'm sorry, really.
It was
Something about it sounds really dirty.
It was a show. Mr. Williams watched it.
Oh, all right, cool. All right.
If Mr.
What's up,
Williams-
Terrence? How you
if
doing,
Mr.
man?
Williams co-signs it, then it's okay.
It's all good. It's all good with us then, man. All right, folks. So what I was talking about before we went to break is the second limited series starring Deadpool. Who's writing this? It wasn't Mark Waid again.
Fabian.
Oh, it was Fabian, the real creator of the co-creator of Deadpool. And yes, a wonderful guy. He was here at Fat Jack's like pre-COVID times for a signing, and he was a really cool dude. We talked to him a lot. And of course, I told the story where I asked him to pronounce his last name multiple times, and I still can't pronounce it. Okay, so once again, we're going to talk about. So this is so now the Deadpool limited series gets a subtitle, and that subtitle is The Circle Chase, which again sounds like a really dirty sexual activity. I don't know, a bunch of 15-year-old boys bored one night, and they have a circle chase. Anyway, so this is also another Deadpool book that has a lot of value. But this one has been graded at a fine minus, which is why it is only $10. Again, like most of the books that came from this collection, they were very well loved and well read. And so you do get some stress here along the spine, and you get this weird little like dent right there. So pretty much those are the elements that really kind of knock its value and its grade down to what I refer to as a fine minus. But again, for a book that can sometimes net you, somewhere between $40 and $60, fine minus here, this copy is only $10. So if you're just maybe looking to fill a hole, you're just curious to have this issue because you had it when you were a kid, teenager, a middle-aged human being, it's there for you. It's a fine minus. It's only $10. And we also have issue number 2. Now, this one is a fine plus. Again, most of the issue is along the spine here. But other than the spine, the rest of the book is really, really sweet. Great condition. But again, this issue doesn't carry as much value as the first issue, obviously. So even at a fine plus, this is only a $5 book. Now, also, we did at one point have issue 3 and 4, but like issue 1 and 2 of the first limited series, it was in such poor condition that we literally just gave it away.
You know who did the art of this?
Yeah, Joe Madureira.
Oh,
Like early, that's real. Yeah, it's real early.
That's not Rob Liefeld.
No, that is not Rob Liefeld. Yeah, even at the age of 16, Joe Madureira is. I gotta be careful. I'm not allowed to disparage people. Jason, you can have opinions. Again, we got to come up with that little title card. Every time I really start going, I just hold it up and go, these opinions do not represent Fat Jack's Comicrypt or the experience. Okay, so now.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter. So we did the second limited series, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat. You'll obviously let me know if I'm wrong. But Jason, maybe does anyone remember? Did they do a third Deadpool limited series before they started the ongoing? I mean, obviously we could look it up in the price guide, but I can't. Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me.
I don't think they did. I think it was. No, yeah, I don't think they did.
It was just the two.
This one for sure is the one everybody remembers.
Well, yeah, and they primarily remember it because of Joe Madureira's art. That that miniseries was when that was the coming out party for Joe Mad.
Was there any kind of like miniseries with X-Force, Juggernaut, or some shit like that?
No, well, in fact, that Circle Chase. Yeah, that came later. That came way later. No, I mean like the Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy. Like I don't know why. Again, it's been 30 years since I've read these books. But Yes. See, thank you very much. Appreciate it. That is very helpful, Jerry. It makes all of our jobs easier.
Jen King is gonna love that.
Yeah. So yeah, like Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut. I don't know if it's some connection with Siren, because Siren was obviously Deadpool's like main squeeze in the comic books, at least. So Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut, in the first limited series and in the second limited series, seem to be the main antagonists throughout that. So obviously Deadpool, those two miniseries, was a success. He was popping up in more X-Force comic books and stuff like that. So it was now about time for Marvel to do what we always knew they were about to do, and that was to give Deadpool his own ongoing series. And again, I said this already earlier, but I will repeat it. This is the series by Joe Kelly. Ed McGuinness did the art in the beginning issues. Scott McDaniel did some art a little bit after him, and then different artists on and on and on. But more importantly, the main writer in the very beginning of the Deadpool ongoing was Joe Kelly, who was pretty unknown at that time. I think he came out of some kind of like Marvel intern program or writing program or something like that. So he got cherry picked. He had a good comedic voice. So again, the Merc with the mouth, even though, no offense to Fabian or Mark Waid, but Deadpool really wasn't funny yet. He talked a lot and he was really annoying, and he quipped and everything, but it wasn't really funny. And we weren't at that sort of ambush bug kind of archetype for Marvel, which is the breaking the fourth wall thing, something that obviously Deadpool is now very famous for. So we have 3 early books. Actually, we have a good selection of them. So I'm going to first start with the annual. Okay. Now, this is another book that actually I was surprised has some legitimate value. This was written by Joe Kelly and illustrated by, I believe it's Joe Harris, last name Harris. But this is the very first Deadpool annual. Now, this came out in 1998. The actual series started in 1997. But this was Deadpool in Death. And I don't know if anything really unique, like something key specifically, but you're starting to get like, there's a lot of quips in here, and he makes a lot of death jokes, that's for sure. Gallows humor is definitely Deadpool's kind of thing. But this book, again, like a lot of the early Deadpool comic books, they're hard to find and they have a lot of value. And this one is no different. But regrettably, the grade of this issue is only a very fine minus. Once again, most of the issue is a little bit of wear along the spine. But other than that, oh, wait. No, it's not the spine on this issue. Okay. This is the issue. Okay, on the back cover, there's these 3 spots. It's not water damage. I don't know what it is. But when you look at it, it's a little bit of discoloration. You're like, okay, it's like comic book acne or something. I don't know. But those 3 spots, that's why this book is a very fine minus. Okay, that's it. Other than that, this book's beautiful. And even at a very fine minus, this is a $12 book, because this thing at a high grade seems to be in that like $20 to $30 range. And again, it was not the biggest print run at the time. Again, a lot of people now, so many years later, so many decades later, you would think that Deadpool was just always a big hit. But he was still, like, they were taking some chances and stuff like that. Next up was, I believe this was also in 1998, Marvel did this whole kind of like gimmick thing where it was what they referred to as -1 issues. They called it the flashback issues. So more often than not, kind of like what DC did a few years prior with the 0 Hour event, where most of the 0 Hour issues pertained to some unknown element to a character's origin or past, or sort of an updating of a famous character's origin to kind of fit a little bit more with like 90s, late 90s aesthetics. So the flashback series, which were -1 issues, pretty much every title that Marvel was publishing at that time all got a flashback issue. And it all had to deal with a character's origin. Well, this one was kind of important because up until this moment, until Joe Kelly was really kind of developing Deadpool more as an actual character instead of it just as a foil for other characters, there wasn't that much known about Deadpool's origin outside of a couple like Weapon X program, this and that. Well, this was the issue where Joe Kelly really started to dive into Wade Wilson's origin. This was illustrated by Aaron Lopresti. Now, this is a very fine plus copy at $10. Now, again, this is another book. If you're getting into that very fine near mint kind of range, you're looking more of like a $20 book. But again, low print runs at the time and everything. But now we are going to step into the actual. We're going to step back like a year to 1997 with another young artist. I'm not exactly sure what Ed McGuinness had done prior to this title, because I'm pretty sure that the first time that I ever learned about who Ed McGuinness was the early Deadpool issues. In fact, to be very honest with you, I wasn't that into Deadpool, but I really liked Ed McGuinness's art, which is why I picked up these issues, especially that awesome Hulk cover that we'll get to in a moment.
When was his Superman?
Superman Batman? That was after, like, he left Marvel soon after, like, the Deadpool and stuff, and he...
No, didn't he do Superman, like, in the 90s, like, for action or something, or like Adventures of Superman? Or am I just, maybe I'm just thinking...
No, but, okay,
Batman.
no, I think you're right, but again, I think that's, like, right after Deadpool.
After that.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure, like, he became a hit because of Deadpool, and then DC poached him.
And they're all like, all right.
Yeah.
We want everyone to be like...
Right, well, I mean, yeah, like... He drew a good Superman. I mean, if you want a character that looks like an overly plastic action figure, Ed McGuinness is your guy, man.
It's cartoon.
It's cartoon, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. All right, so the big debut issue, and Marvel, which was very prone to doing it at the time, I don't know if I see it as often, but of course they go first collector's issue because they want everyone to know that maybe one day you should buy 30 copies of this book. In actuality, if you did buy 30 copies and you kept them in pretty good condition, go sell them. You'll make some money because this is a book. So this is, like I said, Deadpool #1 from 1997. This is the beginning of Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness doing the character. Now, this is a very fine plus copy. It's pretty decent, but again, a little bit of wear along the spine there. Obviously, it was read a lot. So I can't go full near mint, what have you. Though if you are looking for a higher grade copy, I do believe we have a very fine near mint copy. That one's $60. This one at very fine plus, this is $40. Because again, this is an issue that nets a little bit of money. And again, unlike New Mutants '98, which was very high print run, this wasn't as big of a print run at the time. So. Like I said, Deadpool #1, very fine plus, first ongoing Deadpool series, and also the first appearance of the character Blind Al, who obviously would appear in the Deadpool movies, and a character by the name of Cannon Fodder. That sounds like a Steve Gerber joke, but good for you, Joe Kelly. Already you're starting to imbue actual humor into the Deadpool character. So again, Deadpool #1, very fine plus copy at $40. And then we have a couple of the actual issues. The issue that we don't have, and I wish we did, is issue number 11. For anyone who never saw that, that was the one where Deadpool somehow goes back in time to an issue of Amazing Spider-Man, where he, what is it? Is he another character? But anyway, like what was so clever about it, what Joe Kelly did so well. I can't remember which issue of Amazing Spider-Man, but I think it was the issue that was either the second or third appearance of Kraven the Hunter. It's the issue where Kraven attacks Peter's high school. And so in that issue, Deadpool's like cursing and talking, and Peter is just so like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? But it's so neat the way that Joe Kelly really kind of recreates the actual Amazing Spider-Man issue and panels and pacing, but keeps interjecting this character who looks like a teenager, but we know is Deadpool and is let's say raunchy and quite profane for little Peter Parker's little ears. But regrettably, I'm talking about a comic that we don't have. But here we go. This is some of the early Deadpool stuff. Again, these are not the easiest books to find. This is a very fine near mint minus. That minus is primarily because there's like a little ding up here. It's noticeable. It's not a big deal. I don't know if many people would really be like, I'm not going to grade down. But I don't know. I just want to be fair. So this is a very fine near mint minus copy at $10. Deadpool number 2. And then we get Deadpool number 3, which is still developing the Deadpool Siren relationship. Siren is obviously Banshee, his daughter, and she would be a love interest of Deadpool for many, many, many years. Now, this copy of issue number 3, this is a very fine plus copy at $5. And then, okay, this issue actually has a good amount of value, primarily because that's an awesome cover. And it's the first time that Deadpool and the Hulk meet and fight. And again, Ed McGuinness's art at that time was perfect for a character like the Hulk, and so forth. This is an issue that a lot of people look for and really kind of gain some value over the years. Now, this copy is a very fine plus that we have here tonight for $16. And then after that, the last 2 of these Deadpool comics that we have, here is issue number 6, still illustrated by Ed McGuinness. This is a very fine plus copy at $5. And then we have a fun little group of characters. Again, a perfect kind of guest stars in a very humorous book that Deadpool had very quickly become at this point. And that is the appearance of the Great Lake Avengers, who would later be named by Deadpool as the Lightning Riders. And let me just be honest, when Deadpool named them the Lightning Riders, it does not sound as cool as you think it is. The context of how he gave them the name is pretty funny. But this is Deadpool issue number 10. At this point, I believe Ed McGuinness had left the book. This is a gentleman by the name of Denton I'm not familiar with, but this is pre-Scott McDaniel coming onto the book later. This copy is a very fine at $6.
Mr. Lyon, you're thinking of John McCrae.
Oh, John, yeah. Hitman, yeah. And a lot of Garth Ennis, like 2000 AD stuff, Judge Dredd, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, John McCrae. It's good stuff.
Deadpool 10. Thank you, Mr. Hunter.
Deadpool 10. All right, there we go.
If anybody's interested, we have Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh, yeah, fighting each other. Or making love. I don't know. It all looks the same. Okay. So let us stay in the 90s. All right. It just really seems to feel like a real 90s show tonight, even though we have this beautiful Silver Age Atom run that if anyone has any questions about or you want me to skip over and talk about, you want to see some cool Silver Age covers, you let us know.
Mr. Kieran, that's not your thing, the Atom books?
Yeah, no.
You don't do much with the DC stuff.
Nah, DC, I'm a villain guy. DC, I have a couple of those villains, but Atom.
Favorite DC villain? Favorite DC villain?
I don't know.
What about what's his name? Dr. Light? He seems real son.
Yeah. Do you want a character who sexually assaults people?
Yeah, no, that's not. No.
That's not a villain enough for you?
It's too much.
Is it too real?
Too much.
Yeah, it's too real.
What superhero is he driving? Other than really mad, I don't know, other people.
Yeah. All right, so let's hang out in the 90s a little bit more, and let us step into an issue that in recent months has really kind of jumped up in value. It always had a little bit of value, but lately it has, definitely a good amount of value because it is the first appearance of Onslaught. And obviously, Onslaught has appeared in the Way of X miniseries. Recently, you have the one-shot, what is it actually called? Onslaught Revelation. So pretty much Onslaught is sort of like the X-Men boogeyman at this point. And it looks like they're building towards a big storyline. And let's be honest, you can never, count out the MCU. Who knows? Maybe once they introduce the X-Men and stuff like that, after a few years and a few movies, they're like, it's Onslaught time. Maybe that's how they bring back weird versions of the Avengers or something like that. I don't know.
Also, it's just another 90s, it's another button.
Yep.
They'll start pushing it. When they can make money on it, they will.
Let's be honest, we're in a new decade. We're in the 2020s, and pretty much the past 2 decades, the first 2 decades of the 21st century seem to be, let's say, obsessed with the 80s. But I think now we are officially in, people are 90s nostalgia. So there's a lot of 90s going on lately. So that's why a lot of these books are starting to come, rise up in value, because those characters are beginning to appear again in the comic books as certain writers and artists of a certain generation are getting their hand at the wheel. And of course, people love to, write and draw characters that they loved when they were younger. It's natural. Hopefully they still tell good stories. I mean, nostalgia can only take you so far. But with that said, here is X-Men issue number 53. This is the first appearance of Onslaught. Now, this one primarily, again, a little bit of stress on the spine. This is a very fine plus copy at $20. And then we had the X-Men in the mid-90s, pre-Onslaught, doing their Fatal Attractions storyline. And this is where the origin of Onslaught is about to occur, okay? So at the time that Marvel did that, the thing that was most telling, so there was one issue in each of the main X-Men titles at the time. So you had one for Uncanny X-Men, you had one for X-Men, one here with Wolverine, one on X-Factor, one on Excalibur, and one on, I guess, X-Force. Okay. And it was this Fatal Attraction storyline. I don't, for the life of me, remember what the overarching plot of all this was about. But 2 big things happened during the storyline, all right? And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Well, even though it looks... So this is Wolverine issue number 75. Now, this is a very fine plus copy at $6. Even though, you got some, weird things going on with Wolverine here and stuff like that, that's more of, foreshadowing to what is about to happen in the final issue of this Fatal Attraction storyline. This is the first issue, the first part of that storyline, and then we're gonna get into the big key of this storyline, the one that actually has some real value to it. But still, this is a cool one. I haven't seen this one in a while, and I was quite excited when it popped up. I was like, oh, hey, man, Wolverine 75. I haven't seen that in a bit. So this is a very fine plus at only $6.
We'll hit a quick break. And then,
we're going to do a quick break now?
All
right, let me just do the X-Men 25, and then we'll do the break. Okay, because the X-Men 25 is the real big one. It's the real key one. It's the one when most people think about this storyline, there are 2 events that happened that everyone remembers, okay? So it happened, both of these events happened in X-Men 25, all right? So first of all, the first event is Magneto pulls all of the adamantium out of Wolverine's body. So that would then lead to Bone Claw's Wolverine. I don't know why he devolved into some kind of weird Cro-Magnon guy, and he suddenly is wearing like a Ninja Turtles bandana, whatever. And he really Snydered it and cut his sleeves off and stuff like that, showing off those guns. But the second big event, and why we were talking about Onslaught, is in reaction to how terrible Magneto's attack on Wolverine, what he did to Wolverine. That's the moment where Professor X attacks Magneto and erases his mind. Pretty much, boom. And then that's where you get Magneto. He was sort of Joseph, and then we find out that was all bullshit and everything like that. But more importantly, that was the moment that created the seeds that would lead to Onslaught, who is a combination of Magneto and Professor X as this sort of psychic tulpa entity or what have you. And so this is the issue that has those 2 big events that still reverberate to this day in some form or another. Now, this is a fine plus copy, primarily, once again, a little bit of wear on the spine, and then these couple nicks up here. But it gives it a fine plus, and it's only $12. But this is a book that can sometimes get up to around $30. Yeah.
How's the hologram on him? Because the hologram of the Wolverine.
Oh, it's great. It's Gambit. Yeah. It's hard to see, I guess, on the screen.
It's hard to see, and a lot of those don't really hold up well over time.
Yeah. But here, check it out. Yeah.
It's popping on
So
there.
X-Men 25, Fine Plus, $12,
That's decent.
and then so we'll go to a break, and we'll see you on the third segment.
I hung out for a bit, and then I was like, God.
Yay, we're back. All right.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Fat Jack's Comicrypt, hanging out here, selling some comics. All right, before I continue with some of our 90s stuff, I want to rotate out some of our CGC books here. So before we do that, I want to point out for one last time, our Marvel Premiere #1, graded at 6.5, $275. And then our Incredible Hulk 102, graded at a 5.5, priced at $250. Okay? And in case anyone is watching us here on The Experience and you missed out on these two books on the local show, I'm just going to let you know that we have them here before I bring out two brand new books. But this is X-Men issue number 57, first appearance of Larry Trask. This is graded as 7.5, and priced at $100. That's a gorgeous Neil Adams cover. And then we have early in the Chris Claremont X-Men run, Dave Cockrum is in his kind of first foray into illustrating the X-Men. This is X-Men issue number 98, graded at 9.0, and it is priced at $400. All right. So now let's grab two new slabbed books here. Let's go with some Avengers. All right. So first up, we have Avengers issue number 56. This is it's got a Baron Zemo and Bucky Barnes appearance. This is the retelling once again, or let's not say retelling, expanding upon the Steve Rogers Captain America origin. This Avengers number 56, written by Roy Thomas, illustrated by John Buscema. This is graded at a 7.5, and it is priced at $55. Okay, $55. And then we have, talking about Magneto and the X-Men. A little theme, unnecessary, unplanned, but you know it happens sometimes. We have Avengers 110. This is part of the Steve Englehart era of the Avengers. You got a gorgeous Gil Kane cover, and inside I believe is Don Heck. So you have an X-Men and a Magneto appearance, and this story is continued in Daredevil 99. From 1973, Avengers 110, graded at an 8.5 and priced at $90. All right. So if anyone has any questions, want to know a little bit more information, let us know. But we're going to have these bad boys kind of just, chill up here for a little bit, and then we'll dip back into some of the last CGC slab books that we have for tonight. Until then, let's do a little bit more 90s stuff. So here's some fun stuff. We've obviously been talking about the X-Men, and this was a period of Ghost Rider. This is Ghost Rider issue number 26 and 27. All right. So first of all, you get Jim Lee covers. All right. Jim Lee did not do the interiors. It was still the main artist for Ghost Rider at the time, which would have been pre-Andy Kubert, post Ron Garney. Who's drawing it? It doesn't matter. But this is the Ghost Rider X-Men team up where they fight the Brood. So, kind of a unique little 90s crossover team up kind of book. So issue number 26 here is graded at a very fine at $4, and 27 is also a very fine at $4. All right, and for anyone who missed it on our local show, I'll just quickly point out, again, quite a hallmark of the 90s, specifically Spider-Man's Clone Saga. Well, this was a big key of that story. This is Web of Spider-Man from 1994, issue number 118. This is a very fine minus copy at $40, and it is the first appearance of Ben Reilly as the Scarlet Spider. All right. And then it's not a 90s, but it's one of my favorite covers, a Marvel double feature that reprints a Strange Tale? No. Tales of Suspense. Anyway, it's where Captain America fights the Red Skull, who has the Cosmic Cube. Great story, great Kirby era story and stuff like that. This is when Marvel double feature was sort of reprinting in the mid to late 70s a bunch of the 60s titles that at that time were either hard to find, or there were no trade paperbacks or anything of that nature. So really, the only way to get your hands were either original copies of the 60s books or purchase the 70s and early 80s reprints. And this is one of those, which is why it is graded at a very fine plus at $10. And then a fun little era, again, of the 90s, where Marvel it was doing this sort of parallel universe, like sort of in the future, sort of connected to the 616, but later retconned and being like, no, it's its own thing. And that was the A-Next era of books. Particularly the big one was May Parker, Spider-Girl, the daughter of Peter and MJ. Right? MJ was the mother, right? Yeah, okay. So Spider-Girl's the big one. No, I'm sorry, we do not have the What If issue where that's her first appearance, and that book's got some like legit value. And it was an interesting story, or an interesting title, because Tom DeFalco, who was the writer at the time, Ron Frenz did the art, and Bill Sienkiewicz was inking it, which is kind of an interesting combination, Frenz and Sienkiewicz. But it was the book that was always, and this is pre-internet as we know it now, and the internet existed at the time, but definitely like decade before social media. But Spider-Girl was always being canceled, constantly. But then Marvel Publishing would just get flooded with all this like fan letters and like save the book. So Spider-Girl just kept like coming back from the dead over and over again. Made it almost 100 issues, I think. Maybe. I don't know if it passed 100 issues, but it definitely lived a lot longer than it was ever supposed to. So what we have here is, this is referred to as Spider-Girl issue number 0. Now this issue actually reprints the What If issue that introduces her and introduces this sort of like reality and future. Now this is a very fine minus copy at $8. And when you consider, what is the What If issue going for, like raw nowadays, like a couple $100? Yeah, I mean, it's a book with some real value to it. So $8 is a steal.
I think it's like 200 in Overstreet. So.
Yeah, in Overstreet. Yeah. Imagine that thing. You said you have a 9.0, 9.6, great, like slabbed. Yeah. Yeah, imagine how much that is. And then
that's actually the same cover too.
Yes.
That's the same exact.
Yeah, same exact everything. Yeah. And then you get so after that issue 0, they sort of like reintroduce for anybody who missed out on the What If and all that kind of stuff. You get Spider-Girl issue number 1. Now, at this point, Tom DeFalco, who will pretty much write the character the whole time, but now we're getting into the main series artist, which was Pat O'Leaf, who I'm pretty sure illustrated the book almost for its entire run. But this is Spider-Girl number 1, the daughter of the true Spider-Man, okay? So already Marvel was trying to walk back the Clone Saga, all right? So they're already like introducing these like little nods on their books. This is a very fine minus copy at $6. And then we have issue number 2 of Spider-Girl. This is a very fine copy at $4. Now, at the same time, Marvel was introducing more legacy characters in this little reality future and what have you. And one of those characters was the son of the original Juggernaut, J2 himself.
Stop it. That's not what that is.
Yeah. J2.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm pretty sure he skied the K2. So J2, there he is. Also written by Tom DeFalco, illustrated at the time by Ron Lim, who was coming off of all of those Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, all that stuff. This is a very fine plus copy, $3. And at the same time, you got Next, the next generation of Avengers with J2, Jubilee, Stinger, Speedball, Mainframe, Thunderstrike. I bet you can kind of guess who these are the children of.
J2, you gotta fight Mighty Mike.
Mighty Might. So this is Next, Mighty first issue from October of 1998. Next, it's a very fine plus copy at $3.
Mr. Locke, who brought out J2, Next, Super Pro, Merc. What are some other winners we brought? RoboCop.
Yeah. We've had a few, man.
There's some winners.
What are we looking for?
He's taking a vote. This way he's going to take J2 and
All right. Cool, man.
I love weekends that Mr. Williams comes in, because it's like when Mr. Kiernan takes a break.
Yeah.
And the floodgates just open.
Just reopen, yeah. In case anyone is watching us on the Experience Now and you didn't see us on the our local show on our Facebook page, I just want to point out a couple big speculation books lately. Some books that are kind of really going up in value. The first one is Stray Dogs. We have up there 3 copies of Stray Dogs #1. You have the highly sought after Silence of the Lambs homage cover. That's the one that has some legit value. I mean, it's a book that, like, on eBay like, a few days ago was selling for like between $80 and $100. I marked that one at a very fine near mint minus, primarily because there's a little ding on the top left-hand corner. So I'm just gonna take a shot at it. So it's only $50. But then you also get the cover A, which is also a highly sought after a book with some real value to it. This one's more in that like 50 to 60, 70 range. But we have a high grade, very fine near mint at $40. Yes?
No, Mr. Williams, I thought he just wanted the first issue. Mr. Williams, you got all the Spider-Girls, no problem.
Oh, okay, cool. And then we have the blank variant of Stray Dogs #1, also a high grade at $40. And then we have another speculation book a couple weeks ago. Scott Snyder informed everybody that Noctera, the series that he's working on with Tony Daniel, has been optioned for a possible series. So that first issue has kind of garnered a lot of speculation interest, and the value has kind of, it's bouncing around somewhere in that $20 to $40 range, depending. Now we have a couple copies of each variant, so just to be fair, and again, I'm uncomfortable always trying to do top dollar kind of stuff. Good thing your phone didn't break. Each of these Noctera #1s, they're all high grade and they're all $15. You have the cover A, you have the glow in the dark version of cover A, you have the blank variant, which actually like is on top of cover A, so it's sort of 2 covers, and then you get the jock variant, and you get the variant of the artist who I regret, I just don't remember their name. So again, Noctera #1, we have multiple variants of that issue, high grade, $15 each. Okay, so and we talked about our Avengers, and yeah, all right. So if anyone has any questions, let us know in the chat. I will talk about that. Until then, we are now going to step back into the world of the Mighty Might. That's right. We're going to do more of the back end of the Atom. Let's see what we have for time. All right, so I'm just going to get into it, show off these covers, let you know. So here we have the Atom, issue #22. This is a very good plus copy at $13.
Mr. Williams, you got the glow in the dark yet. You're good.
Oh, from the local. You're cool, man.
Oh, yeah, you're good on that.
All right. Next up, we have The Thief with the Tricky Toy, which once again sounds like a porn. I don't know what's going on here. But it's the Atom, issue #23. This is a very good copy at $13. And then,
Who's in your closet? The Thief with the Tricky Toy.
These storylines are great.
hey, it was an innocent time. You know, late '60s, a real innocent time. You know, like, there was nothing going on in America or the world that was upsetting, and we're still living within the ramifications of. No, not at all. There was just we were just tricky toys. Yeah. Next up, the Floronic Man is back. Here we go. The Atom, Destruction of Earth, a book-length blast. This is the Atom, issue #24, a very good plus copy at $15. And then Leonardo DiCaprio's first appearance in DC Comics as the Man in the Iron Mask. If you don't get that reference, go watch more movies from the 90s. The Atom, issue #25, a very good plus copy at $15, and he's absolutely getting bitch slapped. I'm surprised the guy didn't take his glove off and slap him with it. Ooh, that's how we're going to start the duel. Forget this like Instagram comments. Walk up to people with a glove, yeah.
Yeah, that worked well.
All right. Oh, now we get the first appearance of The Bug-Eyed Bandit. Yes, Silver Age. Yeah. This is issue number 26. This is a fine minus copy at $17. And yes, you got it. First appearance of this guy right here, the Bug-Eyed Bandit. All right. And now we get Adam, issue number 27 with the Panther. The Panther was a cool cat out to make a killing until the Atom turned on the heat with his explosive fists. Again.
What?
Again.
What is this?
Turn up the heat with explosive fists.
I'm coming at you.
So issue number 27. This is a very good plus copy at $15. And we get.
It's like every employee of the month.
Oh yeah, I know.
Every
one of them.
before we had to take them all down.
Yeah. Before we hired a woman, and Eric was like, "Yo, go look at the employee of the month and take down any you think are inappropriate." I'm like, "Dude, like all of them."
It's questionable.
Yeah. Let's say questionable. Hey man, the return of Kronos. Not to be confused with the what was it? Crow donuts? Cronuts? It was like corn donuts or something? You don't know.
What are you talking about?
Why do I even know this crap? You know,
I know cronuts, but I don't think they're corn donuts.
what were they? Cronuts.
I think they're just like donuts, just a different shape.
No, it was like a croissant donut.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or it was like flaky like a croissant.
Okay, but it was shaped like a donut?
Yeah, I guess it was shaped like a donut.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what?
Cronuts.
We're making it happen there. That's what it is.
There you go. Okay, so the return of Kronos, who I guess this time realized that shooting parts from his watch wasn't the best way to kill the Atom. So instead, he created a clock with a huge buzzsaw on it. So this is issue number 28. It's a very good copy at $14. And then next up, here's a key during the run. Okay, so this is the Atom from 1967, issue number 29. This is a fine plus copy at $55. This is the first meeting, team up, crossover, whatever you want to call it, of the original Golden Age Atom and our boy, the Silver Age Atom. This is their first little team up together. So this issue is a fine plus at $55. And if that's too rich for your blood, well, don't worry, because we have a copy that is only $5 because it's barely a comic book. Oh, and I think this is no, it happened earlier, but we are now starting to see Gil Kane's actual signature on the books themselves. Something that I guess was changing in the DC. All right, next up, let's keep this moving along. Days of the Bat Knight, fighting the Mighty Might. So this is issue number 30. This is a very good plus copy at $15. And then we have a good man, a bad man, and a turnabout thief. Hawkman is back, and it's guest starring Hawkman. That's right, it is the Atom, issue number 31, who is also using a slingshot to shoot the Atom. I don't like. And you ever notice they're always like the least technically advanced slingshots? I mean, they literally look like Dennis the Menace slingshot that he would carry around in his back pocket while he was like trying not to be sexually abused by a bunch of hobos under bridges. Wait, do you guys not remember the movie with the creepy hobos and the way that the actors sort of act? It feels, let's say, inappropriate. Go back and rewatch the Dennis the Menace movie. Yeah, there's a whole scene under the bridge with a bunch of hobos and Dennis the Menace hanging out with a bunch of older men.
Questionable figures.
Always starting when they go to the beach.
Yes. The scene under the boardwalk. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. All right. So this is Atom issue number 31. Very good plus copy at $12. And then we get, forget the Mighty Might. Now we have Colossal, the Tiny Titan. All right. Turns into the world's tallest superhero. So this is Atom issue number 32. This is a fine copy at $18. Yeah, well, hey, they eat cake, have it, Oh, the Bug-Eyed Bandit is back! Yay! All right. Bug-eyed Bandit.
Sounds kind of racist.
There's a lot. Well, he also has like a Van Dyke like mustache, goatee, whatever going on there. So this is issue number 33. This is a fine copy at $15. And then, little man, you've had a busy day. As he's getting shot in the back, I'm not sure what's going on there. But this is Adam, issue number 34. This is a fine copy at $15. And then, I love this cover. Hold on. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
All right. So the Mighty Might is getting pinned. We're getting pinned again. Yeah.
They're pegging him to the wall.
They're pegging them to the wall, that's for sure. Issue 35, very good plus condition at $12. It looks like a Far Side cartoon, you know?
Yeah.
Like kind of. And now we're in the final stretch of the Atom. So here we go. This is Golden Age Atom is back. And you're starting to see Gil Kane's style really become Gil Kane style. This is issue number 36. This is a very good plus copy at $17. And then we have a good copy at $5. And then we have the last two Atom issues before it becomes Atom and the Hawkman. And that is introducing Major Mina, the Flying Fury, who talks himself and Atom into and out of trouble. He talks to birds. I don't know when the Atom suddenly got like bird talking powers, but hey, you know, teach their own. So this is issue number 37. This is a very good copy at $10. And then we have Sinister Stopover Earth. That's right, the Atom, issue number 38, a fine minus copy at $20. Fine minus? No, fine plus, excuse me. It's actually quite a good condition. And kind of if you look at them, they kind of look like an Evan Dorkin, like the face kind of looks like an Evan Dorkin drawing from Dork. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I love these covers. I'm sorry, I really do. Fine plus, $20. And now we step into the new world. I think Gil Kane is officially off the book. I don't know if Joe Kubert is doing the interiors. I apologize. I didn't have the time to research, but he definitely does the covers. This is where it becomes official. It is now the Titan and the Fury. I'm not exactly sure which is which, but it is the Atom and Hawkman, issue number 39. Beautiful Joe Kubert cover. This is a fine plus copy at $20. And then we get the Titan and the Fury, issue number 40. All right. This is a fine plus copy at $20. And we also have a very good copy at $10. And it looks like Hawkman is going to eat that bird, which kind of feels like cannibalism or something. And then next up,
we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, it's another break time already?
Our last break.
Okay, last break, and then we'll finish off these Atom Hawkmans, and then we have a few more books to talk about. So see you in a bit.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
That's fine. I gotta. Oh shit!
What's up, everybody? What's up, Mr. Bishop? Welcome back, Mr. Kieran. Thank you as always.
It's our show now.
It's on me. Now you're all fucked. Yeah, we're talking about Planet Apes for an hour. Don't forget our show, Mike's show tomorrow on the Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. Excuse me, from 12 to 1, and then from 4 to 6 on the Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook, and then 10 to 12 on Tuesday. If any changes in any of that, Mike will, you guys will know ahead of time. And we'll be done in 58.
58. Okay. All right.
58.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, so business is done. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And then we're just going to cut it off. Just drop it.
Like, I'm gonna literally, and then blah blah blah, and gone. All right, so let's quickly finish, and so we can talk about some of those books over there, which are pretty kind of unique and cool. We're in October season, so it's time to step into some monster books and stuff. But real quick, let's finish off with the Titan and the Fury, Adam and Hawkman, issue number 41. A very good plus copy at $13. And then you get a weird blind guy, When Gods Make Madness. For a second, I thought When Gods Make Maidens. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Anyways, issue 42, fine copy at $15. Oh, and then we get a really cool two-part storyline with one of Hawkman's big arch nemesis, the Gentleman Ghost. Here we go. Adam and Hawkman, issue number 43. This is a fine minus copy at $13. And then you get Gentleman Ghost mocking a struggling Hawkman who's just trying to climb out of the tomb. He's being a real owl about things, you know. No, I was going to say something a lot worse. No, it was just, trust me, the experience is happy. I said Al instead of what I was about to say. Anyway, issue number 44. This is a very good plus copy at $12.
That's on you. That's on you.
And then the final issue of the Adam and Hawkman series. Last joke, really cool Joe Kubert. It's where a woman gives the Harrison Ford finger of doom and says, "Work or die, slaves." Kind of looks hot, to be honest. Issue number 45, fine minus at $13.
Can I get 43 and 44 from Mr. King?
Absolutely. Those are very cool issues. Also, for anyone who missed out, maybe of the local, in terms of a couple keys of the front end of the Atom, we have Showcase number 35, which was the second appearance of the Atom, and then we get Atom issue number 1. This is a very good copy at $200. First appearance of the Plant Master, who would become the Floronic Man. And we also have the Atom issue number 7, which is the very first time that the Atom and Hawkman team up. All right, and then we have a bunch of other issues if you're curious about. All right, so first, let's say goodbye to these CGCs. Avengers 110, 8.5 at $90. And Avengers 56, 7.5 at $55. And let's quickly say hello to these two X-Men issues real fast. So this one, this is X-Men 26. This is from 1966. Roy Thomas, Werner Roth, and Dick Ayers. El Tigre appearance. There you go. This is graded at a 6.5 and is valued at $45. Okay, and then we get a pretty nice key in regards to the X-Men mythos, and it is X-Men issue number 39. This is where all of the new costumes, the costumes that they were a little bit more known by, this is where this is introduced. You also have Mastermind, Blob, Ernest, Unus, Vanisher, Changeling, and Banshee appearances, and Death of Mutant Master. Plus, you get a backup of the origin of Cyclops. This is graded at a 7.0. written by Roy Thomas, illustrated by Don Heck, and it is valued at $120. Okay? All right. Now, October, no, before we do October, let's do two quick sort of 90s books real fast. Here we have Exiles #1, a blockbuster first issue. This is also the first appearance of this character, Blink, who popped up now and again. This is a high-grade, very fine near mint copy at $6. And again, it's not the 90s without killing off a character for whatever reason and giving them a gimmicky cover. And I am talking about The Funeral of Hal Jordan. This is Green Lantern issue number 81. This was right after the final night, after Hal Jordan had gone crazy and became Parallax, and before it all got retconned and we still thought it was really Hal Jordan. He saved the world and saved the universe, but sacrificed his life in the process. And so this issue is pretty much his funeral as they try to kind of salvage Hal Jordan's legacy. So this is a very fine near mint copy at $6.
Real quick.
Yes.
Mr. Lyon in the chat made a comment about who puts a wing character in suspenders.
Good question. Good question.
And I've always had a problem with Hawkman's outfit. Like, it always just looked kind of lame. And
well, because originally his wings aren't on his body. The corset or the suspenders is the strap-on of the wings. But then they changed that and it became a whole other.
Yeah, I didn't know it. But like, nobody can ever get an outfit right from him. Like, it just always looks bad. It just always looks off. Something's wrong.
I'll tell you one thing, man. I loved that 80s Superpowers Hawkman action figure where you squeeze his legs and the wings. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I had no idea about the arms.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Okay, so let us step into a little bit of some horror books there. All right, so let's first see here. We have Chamber of Darkness #3. Did I lose my notes for it? Okay, shoot. Damn it. I can't remember what. All right, it doesn't matter. Chamber of Darkness #3. It's part of that Marvel horror sort of anthology stories and stuff. Who did that cover? For all I know. Anyway, Chamber of Darkness #3. It's a fine minus copy at $10. And we also have another copy. This is a very good minus at $6. But here's a fun one. This is a cool one, all right? So this is Chamber of Darkness #4, okay? Now, there's a couple things that make this key. First of all, at this era of comic books, Marie Severin and Bill Everett. I wanted to call him Elliot for a split second. It's not. It's Everett, Submariner, all that kind of stuff. So Marie Severin and Bill Everett at the time started doing a lot of cover collaborations together. And they would sign the covers 7EV. So technically speaking, especially if you're a little bit of a comic book historian, this is the very first cover that Marie Severin and Bill Everett collaborated together, all right? But what makes this book kind of like an interesting key was at the time, Marvel was trying to get the licensing rights to publish Conan comic books, okay? Which obviously they did, but they still weren't sure if it was going to happen. So Barry Windsor Smith, who was called Barry Smith at the time and working for Marvel, this is the issue where he created a character by the name of Star the Slayer, which was a Conan ripoff that Marvel was trying to test the water to see if they didn't get the Conan license, could they maybe make their own Conan, and is it financially viable? So this was an issue. They were trying out their own version of Conan. And it's a character that's popped up different times. In fact, I'm pretty sure Richard Corbin did a Max miniseries of Star the Slayer in the early 2000s. So this is a fine copy at $30.
If anybody's interested, issue 3 has a Buscema story, a Barry Windsor Smith story.
That's right, Barry Windsor.
Tom Palmer story.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember off the top of my head.
And I believe Buscema did cover.
All right, nice. Okay, so next up is Monsters on the Prowl with Corgilla. Yay, Corgilla. All right, so this issue, this is a very fine, fine plus copy at $20. And you get a lot of Barry Windsor Smith inks. That's pretty much sort of the claim to fame of this issue. But again, it's a lot of monsters and stuff like that. Marvel loved that. Fine plus, $20. All right, and now we get a fun one. This is all right. So Tower of Shadows, okay? Here, let me just kind of, so I'm not constantly looking over. All right. So Tower of Shadow. Let me just make. Okay, yeah. This is a cool one. All right. So there's two stories in this book. All right. The first story is illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith. You're noticing a theme here. And the second story is illustrated by my boy, the tragic artist of comic book history, Wally Wood. So this is a nice jam-packed art school kind of issue of Tower of Shadows, number 5, a fine plus copy at $20. You get Barry Windsor Smith, you get Wally Wood, good stuff. All right, and then last little bit. Now this is a sweet one. Okay, this is The Witching Hour, number 3. This is a fine minus copy at $18. Okay, but you get 2 titans in terms of art in this issue. First of all, for anyone who's not aware of what The Witching Hour is, The Witching Hour was a DC, anthology series like House of Secrets, a House of Mystery, all that kind of stuff. But the sort of the crypt keepers or the narrators of this series were the Mother, the Maiden, and the Crone. Also called, the 3 Witches. Also, Neil Gaiman, speaking of Sandman, he renamed them the Kindly Ones. They're the ones who pretty much force Morpheus to commit suicide. Also, they're sometimes associated with the goddess Hecate. They were first introduced in Witching Hour number 1. But what makes this issue number 3, so cool is there's 2 stories. One illustrated by Alex Toth, and the second one illustrated by Bernie Wrightson. Again, 2 titans of the comic book, medium. They and top of their game. In fact, before my phone really started blowing up and dying, I did get a post of to celebrate October 1st and welcome the Halloween season to Fat Jacks and all that kind of stuff, was a nice Alex Toth image of the 3 witches. So again, Witching Hour, fine minus copy at $18. And then last little bit of horror. This is Marvel Premiere number 4. All right. This is Barry Windsor Smith art, because kind of came from a collection from a man who obviously really loved Barry Windsor Smith, that's for sure. So it has his art in it. But the other kind of cool thing about this one is Roy Thomas begins to introduce elements from Robert E. Howard stories, specifically a bunch of serpent people who, if you've ever seen Conan the Barbarian, the movie and all that kind of stuff, it's sort of that same cult, the cult of that worship the serpent people. And I think the main villain, what was his name? Tothamon, yeah, stuff like that. Well, like, it's less Lovecraftian and it's more Roy Thomas is obviously, because he's about to start writing Conan. He's obviously a big Robert E. Howard fan. So this is him already beginning to introduce elements of Robert E. Howard, universe stuff into the Marvel universe proper.
I'm sorry, it was Tulsa Doom.
Tulsa Doom, yes, Tulsa Doom. Yeah. So this is a fine plus copy at $20. And then it's not horror, but if you actually really read about the Old West, it sounded like a hellish world to live in. But this is comic books, so obviously not everyone smells like poop. So this is Western Gunfighters featuring Gunhawk, the original Ghost Rider, and the Apache Kid. This is Western Gunfighters number 4. This is, who did this? It was it's all Barry Windsor Smith art. I should have just guessed. So this is a fine plus copy at $15. It's Barry Windsor Smith doing fun Marvel Western characters. All right. And speaking of Barry Windsor Smith, here we have Daredevil issue number 50. This is a fine minus copy at $13, and you guessed it, it's all illustrated by BWS himself. And then you get Daredevil 51. This is a very fine minus copy at $25, also illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith.
Does he do his own inking? Or does somebody else inking?
I think at the time he was doing his own inking. Also, I forgot to mention this. Issue number 50 is the last Stan Lee written Daredevil issue. He pretty much wrote all 50 issues of this title. And issue number 51 is the very first Roy Thomas written Daredevil issue. All right. And then a fun little book, a fine minus copy at $25, also illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith, but having a Daredevil and Black Panther teaming up together. Maybe he was drawing Black Panther a few times during his Avengers run. But again, man, Barry Windsor Smith doing some Black Panther. Pretty cool. So there we go. Daredevil, issue number 52, fine minus copy at $25. What happened?
Mr. Peterson. Mr. Peterson is in the chat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, man?
So whatever you buy, I'll ship it up and send it to you. He was bitching because I don't wrap his stuff up nice.
Ah, okay. All
Mr.
right.
Peterson, welcome. Say hello to everybody.
Yeah, man. Happy to you found us. It's always good, new person,
I think get back to work. You just started a new job.
Yeah, it's a good point, buddy. All right, so what do we have time-wise? All right, so we got like 8 minutes or so. All right, so we did our Tower of Shadows, did Monsters on the Prowl, Chamber of Darkness, number 4, Chamber of Darkness, number 3, the Green Lantern Exiles, 3 issues of Daredevil. We got the Western Gunfighters 4, that Witching Hour, number 3, and the Marvel premiere, number 4. Also, we have our X-Men 39 premiere of all the new costumes, graded at 7.0, $120, and X-Men 26, graded at 6.5. You have LT Gray showing up, probably inappropriate nowadays, but who knows? You'd have to read the issue. And that one, what was that valued at? That was $45. All right. So we got all those. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, we've done the Deadpools. We got our Nocteras, our Stray Dogs. We've done all of our Atoms. All right, so we're at a point where, let me see what some of the, let me just jump into my little box here, see if I can pull out something that maybe will catch somebody's interest.
Mr. Peterson, now that we know you're a viewer, we'll get some vampirellas on here for you.
Yes.
Some lady deaths. You want? Yeah. It's Sam's interested in the Stray Dogs.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to here? I'll point out what they are.
Well, all we got is really issue 1, Sam.
Yeah, so just so you know, all 3 of these are copies of issue number 1. The first one, and the one that is most sought after, and the one that carries the most value pretty much in the entire series, is issue number 1's homage to Silence of the Lambs. Now, this is a very fine near minus copy. Primarily, the only reason I knocked it down even a little bit, there's this teeny little, just somebody bumped it or something. Yeah, so, but still, this is a book that sometimes gets up into that $80 to $100 range, but we have it here tonight for $50. And then we have the regular cover of Stray Dogs, not one of the homage movie covers. But this is also one that can sometimes get into that $50 to $70 range. Check them out on eBay, man. They're really selling. This is a high grade copy at $40. And then we have number 1. This is the blank variant, also a very high grade at $40.
Now is the regular cover on blank underneath?
I don't know. Hey, you want to take a look? I actually forgot. So again, we have 3 versions of issue number 1. This is a hot series. It's really hard to find any of the issues of this book, but the first issue itself, especially this bad boy here, is quite sought after and has really gone up in value.
not, so you only get the blank.
Oh, okay. So unlike the Noctera blank cover that has the normal cover underneath it, that Stray Dogs blank variant is just that, a blank variant. All right. So if you have any interest or anything like that, or you want to see more of it, just let Al know in the chat, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let's not run out of time. All right, we got a couple minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Melendez.
All right, Sam.
Pulling that trick.
Good stuff. All right, what do I have I can show off that people might be interested in? Oh, okay, this is fun. I don't know if Gary's still there, but Wordman, I found the one-shot of Blade, illustrated by Gene Colan, written by Christopher Golden, but Gene Colan doing Blade. This is the one-shot that they put out where they did a little bit of his origin and stuff like that. But this was the one-shot that kind of sort of prelude his very first solo series in the 90s. This is a very fine plus copy at $50. And then we have a Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hell Hath No Fury, like a Nick Fury, issue number 12, and I bet you can guess who illustrated it. Yep, you got it, Barry Windsor Smith. Issue number 12, post Steranko. I only think he might have done one issue, but still, this is a fine copy at $15. And then it's only $3. It's a fine copy. It's Incredible Hulk, King Size Annual, number 10, where the Hulk and Captain Universe fight. It can't be. I'm becoming the Hulk, but also I'm changing into Captain Universe, and I'm fighting myself. Oh! what a cover. But again, only $3.
How much for that, Blade?
$5.
$5 for Blade, Mr. Peterson. Mr. Lime already has it.
Oh, cool, Gary. I knew you would have had. If you didn't have it, yeah. This is a cool one. Gene Colan again. Anyone who's watched this show enough times, you know we're all a big fan of Gene Colan.
Nick Fury.
Yeah. Nick Fury number 12. All right. Hell Hath No Fury, like a Nick Fury. Good stuff. I got some Conans. I don't know, what time is it? 7:54. Oh, this is kind of, I don't know if Mr. Hunter's still out there, but again, like we have a little bit of a 90s theme going on, so let's show off another little 90s book. This was a fun little team up of characters. You get Spider-Man, the Hulk, Sleepwalker, Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, even a little Deathlock. This was part of that Spider-Man run where Eric Larson was illustrating it, and it was a lot of fun. This is issue number 22 of that series. It's a very fine plus copy at only $3. But again, fun little cover. That's a random combination of characters. I love it.
Mr. English, what's good, Mr. English?
Yo, what's up, Mr. English? How you doing?
Welcome back.
People just kind of like popping in, huh? Saying hello.
Everybody's rolling in. We're at football.
Oh, that's right. All right, I think yeah, really. What's this here? Oh, wait. Okay. Oh my God. It didn't have a top thing, so I completely. What are we looking for?
You got Spider-Man 22.
Yeah, I do. Spider-Man 22.
Thank you, Mr. Hart.
All right, Mr. Hunter. Yeah. All right, guys. This is cool. All right. This is an old, right? Like that's like an old kind of CGC.
Yeah.
This is old CGC.
Oh, yeah, that was CGC. I think in the late 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like the early years of CGC. This is a funny book. All right, so here we go, guys. The first appearance in comic books of one of the trippiest kids shows of the 60s. I'm talking about Fleagle, Drooper, Snorky, and Bingo. You got it, people. Hanna-Barbera's The Banana Splits. Yay! Oh, well, now it is. This is graded at an 8.0, a very fine creamed off-white pages. You got your nice little photo cover, first appearance of the characters, and this is actually a $140 book, man. Fun little Banana Splits. Again, now were they Sid and Marty Krofft, or was that just Banana Splits was just Sid and Marty Krofft weren't doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, The Banana Splits, #1, first appearance. Come on, it's only $140.
Is it live action?
Yeah.
I didn't know Hanna-Barbera did live action.
Well, I mean, it was 60s. I mean, this would have been like 68, 69 probably at the time. Very weird.
I don't know the horror.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Oh, so the horror flick is like,
Recently.
yeah, it wasn't very good. But it's like a bunch of kids go to a revival of the Banana Splits to see a live taping.
It was kind of like the
And then-
video game that they missed out on.
Yeah, it's Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah,
So
where they get stuck.
Yeah, they try to like bend it up because of that. And it was like 4 years too late.
Right.
Nobody really saw
And
it.
then suddenly the Banana Splits come to life and then try to murder all the children. Or if you want to see an even worse version of that movie, it was the Nick Cage one.
That's the other one.
Which, hey, if you just want to watch Nick Cage not say anything and drink a lot of caffeine energy drinks, it's kind of funny. But anything that isn't Nick Cage, it's kind of stupid. What was it called? Willy's Wonderland?
Yes.
What was the, sorry.
Yeah, no.
What was the Wolverine with Deadpool? It was like
88.
88, yeah.
How much is that one?
Oh, it was $7, but it's very good minus.
So $7 versus the 100 is busted.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's.
I mean, it feels, oh, you're not going to find it. We don't have a better copy.
Yeah, and it's a book that can sometimes get you around like 80 to like.
But I mean, it's complete. It's got a copy.
Oh no,
it's just well read.
It's like reader copy. Yeah, it's just a dude read it and didn't really put it in bags and boards, and you know what happens over time. You know, they sit in boxes and they just get a little beat up. But it's complete, all that kind of stuff. And again, it's only $7, and you would still be like, wow, $7 for a VG minus. But again, I reiterate, it's a valuable book nowadays. So if you're interested, let us know.
Anything you see or we talk about, if you're interested, you can hit Brendan up on the Instagram. Just not today or tomorrow.
As I figure out my phone problems.
Yeah, he's got to get a new phone. Or our Facebook page, or you can email us fjccshow@gmail. Anything. People always emailing.
Yeah.
Days after the fact. Sam knows if he's watching.
Yeah. And again, any books that didn't get claimed tonight, they'll probably end up tomorrow and Tuesday with Mike and Al on the Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. And also, hey, they're here at the shop. So you can either come in and ask to see if we still have it and pick it up, or like he said, you can contact us on Facebook or Instagram or email. And again, we will try to help as much as we possibly can. Oh my God, we got a hard out. It's 8 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Zanin will be back with us. Jerry, we apologize. We missed the hard out. Peace, everyone. Bye.